Hi, I'm Frida.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, I'm Shadell.
Hi, my name is Takai, and today I'm going to be talking to you about learning disabilities among students. So the top 5 learning disabilities are dyslexia, ADHD, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, and processing deficit. The effects of these are inability to read, to write, to tell time, to stay focused, and more. From school year 2000 to 2001, there were, among 3 to 21-year-olds, there were 63% of them had learning disabilities, and then 13% of total public school environment does. So that's 6.2 million among public schools. And then both numbers and percentages of students are under the IDEA, which is the Individuals with Disability Education Act. So a disability is a learning disability, an area of weakness or inefficiency in brain function and neurological dysfunction in the brain that causes a person to have difficulty correcting or receiving information. The processing information or satisfactory responding to the information written or verbal and visual motor coordinates, which affects your memory. The first disability that I'm going to talk to you guys about is dyslexia, which is the most known learning disability among them. So this one impedes a student's ability to read or comprehend a text. There are a variety of ways in which this disability can be manifested. Some people struggle with phonemic awareness, which means they fail to recognize the way words break down according to their sound. Similar problems can occur with phonological processing, which is students cannot distinguish certain sounds from each other. A lot of other things that manifest is like mixing up letters such as M and W or lowercase b's and d's. The next one is ADHD, which is attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. So this one has a lot more to do with elementary kids, and it's the most with technical issues. So it's a common learning epidemic in students, which involves paying attention and staying on track. Are you ever sitting down, here, I'll go ahead and show you guys, you're ever just sitting down and you realize you're like shaking your leg like this, you're like picking at your nails? That has a lot to do with this. The next one is dyscalculia, which has to do with math. A lot of people are not good at math. So this kind of comes from numbers and just the forming them together. Simple stuff like 2 plus 2 or 2 minus 1 is hard. And it also arranges with just putting numbers in order. So that one's just a lot to do with math. The next one is dysgraphia, which is more of writing. So when you're writing, it's kind of like you can't form the word correctly, or you can't spell it how it needs to be. Like in an article from the University of New Hampshire, it did a study on a man who oh, good example. She's just roaming around. Come. This is Aylin. She's very hyper, as you can tell. I'm gonna go and give her tissue now. So back to the writing. So you can't form the words correctly. And the next one is processing deficit. So it's hard for auditory or visuals, and it can make it hard for students to distinguish and remember important information that they'll need for a test or they'll need to remember for a project. And then so there are a lot of students that suffer from learning disabilities, and the biggest thing is now trying to find a way to incorporate different learning styles that aren't like excluding them from everyone else. There was something from, I think it was Tennessee University, they said that they put they did this little test of a spectrum, and it was like, it showed that learning wasn't as different for people with the learning abilities than it was for others. It was kind of just more of an in your head thing, but they kind of said that was bull, so they kind of disregarded that. So this is kind of just to talk about that. And I already talked about the academic difficulties, so now I'm going to tell you about the social and employment difficulties. So individuals with learning disabilities like ADD have difficulty maintaining friendships, relationships, and employment. And as they may find organization, impulse control, planning, and reading harder and more of a challenge, and it's important for them to understand their areas of strengths and weaknesses so they can better explain their needs to others in order to ensure personal and social success. So that is all of the facts. Now it's kind of just getting down to what will be best for them learning and to make sure that they're still like getting the social contact with other kids but not being like separated to their disability. And so that's going to be the biggest thing to focus on. And moving forward, hopefully the plan is to make sure that they don't feel excluded, because in a lot of schools they separate the kids. There's like kids that aren't as unable to like read and write and do stuff like that, and there's kids that are struggling a lot more. They like put them with that so that they're like learning at a slower pace, but they can work with the other kids. So now it's just putting them into their designated area. Thank you for listening to my speech.